जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी। यशोदानंदन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो भगवते ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Canto 11, Chapter 3, chapter entitled Liberation from Illusory Energy, text number 46. Vedoktam eva kurvano nisango arpitam ishvare naishkarmyam labhate siddhim रोचनार्थ फलश्रुतिः। वेदोक्तमेव कुर्वाणो निसंगो अर्पितम् ईश्वरे नैष्कर्म्यं लभते सिद्धिम् रोचनार्थ फलश्रुतिः। वेदोक्तमेव कुर्वाणो निसंगो अर्पितम् ईश्वरे नैष्कर्म्यं लभते सिद्धिम् रोचनार्थ फलश्रुतिः। वेदोक्तम् एव कुर्वाणो निसंगो अर्पितम् ईश्वरे नैष्कर्म्यं लभते सिद्धिम् रोचनार्थ फलश्रुतिः। Word for word meaning. Veda Uktam, the regulated activities described by the Vedas. Eva, certainly. Kurvanaha, performing. Nisanga, without attachment. Arpitam, offered. Ishvare, to the Supreme Lord. Naishkarmyam, of liberation from material work and its reactions. Labhate, one achieves. Siddhim, the perfection. Rochanartha, for the purpose of giving encouragement. Falashrutihi, the promises of material results given in the Vedic scriptures. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: by executing without attachment the regulated activities prescribed in the Vedas, offering the results of such work to the Supreme Lord, one attains the perfection of freedom from the bondage of material work. The material fruitive results offered in the revealed scriptures are not the actual goal of Vedic knowledge, but are meant for stimulating the interest of the performer. Purport: human life is an opportunity offered by the laws of nature to the conditioned soul, so that he may understand his eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Unfortunately, even in the human form of life, most living entities remain addicted to improving the standard of animal activities, namely eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. Almost no one is interested in the actual success of life, Krishna consciousness. Shrotavyadini Rajendra Nrinam Santi Sahasrashah Apashyatam Atmatattvam Griheshu Grihamedinam. Those persons who are materially engrossed, being blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth, have many subject matters for hearing in human society, O Emperor. It is stated, Parama Karenuko Vedaha. Vedic knowledge is supremely merciful because it engages the animalistic human beings in a gradual process of purification that culminates in full consciousness of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is confirmed by the Lord Himself in the Bhagavad Gita, Vedesha Sarvairahameva Vedyah. Majority of human beings are not able to suddenly give up material sense gratification, even though they understand from Vedic literature that such sense gratification causes a pernicious future effect. We have practical experience in the Western countries that when the government informed the citizens that smoking cigarettes causes lung cancer, most people were unable to give up their smoking habit. Therefore, Vedic literatures prescribe a gradual process of purification in which the conditioned soul learns to offer the results of his material activities to the Supreme Lord, thus spiritualizing those activities. Material sense gratification is based on two organs, namely the tongue for tasting and the genitals for sex life. By offering palatable food to the deity of Krishna and then enjoying the remnants as Krishna Prasadam, and by accepting the rules and regulations for Vedic householder life and begetting of Krishna conscious children, one can gradually bring the full range of material activities to the platform of pure devotional service. By offering the fruits of one's ordinary activities to the Supreme Lord, one gradually understands that the Lord Himself and not material sense gratification is the actual goal of life. Lord Krishna warns in Bhagavad Gita that if people are prematurely encouraged to give up householder life or the sumptuous remnants of the Lord's prasad, such artificial renunciation will have the opposite effect. There is a class of duplicitous men who misunderstand the transcendental purpose of the Vedas and falsely claim that material fruitive results such as promotion to heaven, which is offered in the Agnishtoma sacrifice, constitute the ultimate goal of the Vedas. Such foolish men have been described by Lord Krishna. Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadyantyavipashchitah vedavada partha nanyadasti tivadina kamatmana swargapara janma karma falapradan kriya vishesha bahulam bhogaishwarya gatim prati. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. To refute such a foolish understanding of Vedic purpose, this verse uses the word nissangaha, which means without attachment to material results. The actual purpose of the Vedas is arpitam ishvare, to offer everything to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Result is siddhim, or the perfection of life, Krishna consciousness. The words Rojanartha Phalashruti clearly indicate that the fruitive results promised in the Vedic literature are meant to stimulate a materialistic person to have faith in the Vedic injunctions. Example is given that a child may be offered candy covered medicine. The child becomes enthusiastic to take the medicine because of the candy coating, whereas a mature person will be enthusiastic to take the medicine itself, knowing that such medicine is meant for his real self interest. The mature platform of Vedic understanding is mentioned in the Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad. Tam etam veda anuvachanena brahmana vividishanti brahmacharyena tapasa shraddhaya yadnena na shakena cha. By the teaching of the Vedas and by celibacy, penances, faith, and controlled eating, great Brahmanas come to know the Supreme. The Supreme is Krishna, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Although the prescribed rituals of the Vedas may sometimes resemble material fruitive work, the activity is spiritualized because the result is offered to the Supreme. Candy covered medicine and ordinary candy may appear to taste the same, but the candy covered medicine has a therapeutic effect not found in ordinary candy. Similarly, the words Naishkarmyam Labhate Siddhim in this verse indicate that a faithful follower of the Vedic injunctions will gradually be promoted to the highest perfection of life, pure love of Godhead, as stated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prema Pumartho Mahan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So we are on this topic, liberation from illusory energy. And Havir Hotra is replying to Maharaj Nimi. Maharaj Nimi had asked a question that how should we perform work, the art of work, art of smart work. And Havir Hotra is replying that fruitive activities are not the goal, but fruitive activities are also mentioned in the Vedas so that a practitioner gradually attains to the perfect stage of Krishna consciousness. So day before yesterday, we were discussing how Shastras, they give direct instructions, they give indirect instructions, and they give diluted instructions also. Sometimes the instructions may be diluted for the purpose of facilitating the practitioner to attain success on this path. So today we'll try to discuss how Krishna has set an entire theme for one conditioned soul's deliverance. Krishna is so merciful to all the living entities that even after we rebelled against Krishna and came to this material world, Ichcha Dvesha Samuthena Dvandva Mohena Bharata, we came into this world of duality, but still Krishna, he does not give up upon us. That is the beauty of Krishna's compassion. Imagine you are having one friend, and that friend does not speak to you for 1 day, 2 days, 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, 5 years. What will we do? We will give him up. We will say, he is not speaking to me. What is the need of reciprocating now? We haven't reciprocated with Krishna since the past million lifetimes, but still Krishna is present in our heart. Still Krishna always instructs us, guides us. Upadrushta Anumanta Bharta Bhokta Maheshwaraha. Even though we are inimical to him, even though we are despising him, still Krishna never hates us. His love for the conditioned soul is everlasting. And therefore, one definition which is given of love, is everlasting forgiveness. And that is what Krishna does. And similarly, when the spiritual master comes in our life, spiritual master also plays that role. He also everlastingly forgives us. 1 mistake, 2 mistakes, 3 mistakes, 100 mistakes. And the spiritual master says, no problem, let him grow. So this is what is the gradual way in which Krishna, the spiritual master, and the scriptures, they all want to deliver us. So we'll try to just discuss briefly on how Krishna, the scriptures, and the devotees, they descend for us, they attract us, they correct us also, and they extend for us, just so that we gradually progress on the path of devotional service and ultimately attain the perfection of life, which is going back home, back to Godhead. Krishna is eternally residing in the spiritual world, and he is having unlimited devotees who reciprocate with him in various rasas. Yet, Krishna is so merciful that he descends to this material world. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manushim deham ashritah bhajade tradushi krida yat shrutva tatparo bhavet. He descends just for the conditioned living entities who comprise 1/4 of the total creation. 3/4 of the creation is in the spiritual world. And unlimited devotees are there. It is not that Krishna lacks some devotees. Like we have corporate companies, whenever they have the need, what do? They get in people, they have placement drives. Krishna does not need a placement drive, because Krishna already has many devotees serving him. But out of his compassion for the suffering conditioned souls, he descends himself. Krishna descends along with Krishna's scriptures. They also come. Krishna swadama upagate dharma jnana dibisaha kalau nashta drishamesha puranarko adunodita. This Srimad Bhagavatam is said to be like the sun which has arisen to dissipate the darkness of Kali Yuga. And along with scriptures, devotees also descend. Sometimes devotees descend from the spiritual world, like Srila Prabhupada once said, that I never wanted to come to this material world, but Krishna told me, go there and write some books, and therefore I have come. We have Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was also not an ordinary person. In fact, all our acharyas. For Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his father Bhaktivinoda Thakur had prayed to the Lord that give me a ray of Vishnu to preach your message. And we find how Srila Saraswati Thakur established 64 Gaudiya Mats in Bharatvarsha. And then we have Narottam Das Thakur, who was such a munificent personality and such a powerful, attractive personality that even before his birth, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had predicted his arrival. And he had kept love, his own love, stored for him in the Padma river. So devotees sometimes descend from the spiritual world, and along with that, they descend to our own platform, to wherever we are, to elevate us. Like Srila Prabhupada, when he came to America, he went to the depths of Bowery, which was so dirty. His Holiness Mukunda Maharaj says that the smell of Bowery was like a mixture of beer and urine. That was the smell. And Prabhupada came there. And after a while, when Srila Prabhupada got his disciples, they were very regretful. They said to Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, we are so sorry. We got you to such a place. Prabhupada said, never mind, this is Vaikuntha. Because Vaikuntha for Srila Prabhupada was not a matter of bricks. It was not a matter of buildings. It was a matter of taking shelter of Krishna. So Prabhupada descended to the depths of Bawari in order to deliver us. Yeah, another example of the Guru of Bilva Mangal Thakur. So Bilva Mangal Thakur got realization when he was at the house of the prostitute. At time, he got the realization that what I am doing, I just wasted my life. And Srila Prabhupada writes in one of his books that the spiritual master is even ready to come to the house of prostitution to deliver the conditioned soul. But the conditioned soul should not take undue advantage of this mercy of the spiritual master. So devotees also descend, and they want to elevate us from whatever position we are. A couple of disciples of Srila Prabhupada, Shyama Sundar and Malati, after they came to Krishna consciousness, once they had to go to the jail because they were dealing with drugs before. And they said to Srila Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, we have to go to jail. Prabhupada asked, why? And they said, we were dealing with drugs. Prabhupada said, never mind, I was also dealing with drugs. So when Prabhupada was in India, he was a pharmacist. And by drugs, he meant that he was also dealing with some kind of medicines. But to that level, he had to go to elevate the people, those who were totally absorbed in sinful life and in sense gratification. So the first thing was that Krishna descends himself, and the scriptures and the devotees as well. And the second thing is Krishna attracts. When Krishna comes to this material world, his main goal is to attract the living entities to himself. And therefore, when Krishna was in Vrindavan, when Krishna went to Mathura, just by seeing him, all people, they were so mesmerized just by his sight. Akshanvatam phalamadam naparam vidamaha sakyan pashun anuvishrayitor vivasai vaktram vajeshudayor anuvenu justam yairva nipitam anurakta kataksham moksham. The gopis say that seeing Krishna is the festival for eyes. And even the Mathura Vasis say that what austerities the gopis must have performed in order to see Krishna day in and day out. They have the fortune of witnessing Krishna. Even Dwarka Vasis were so fortunate to see Krishna every day. Nityam nirikshamananam yadapi dwarakaukasam navitripyanti hidrisha shriyodhamangamuchitam. For them, seeing Krishna was a festival. So Krishna performs various pastimes, and by those pastimes also, he attracts our hearts. In this world, we find people need many things. People need adventure, people need romance, people need horror. And to have a mix of those emotions, people watch movies, they watch Netflix, and they do so many other things. And we find in Krishna Katha, everything is included. If you want romance, the best romance is available when we read Krishna's pastimes with the gopis. If you want adventure, then the best pastimes are available in the form of Krishna killing the demons. If you want horror, then there are horror pastimes as well in Krishna Leela, and we have Narsimhadev Bhagavan, his pastimes as well. So in this way, Krishna attracts each and every conditioned soul just so that he may turn towards him. Similarly, scriptures, they also attract a conditioned soul by giving various stories. Vedas, the Shrutis, they contain a lot of philosophical subject matter, but Smritis which are there like Puranas, Itihasas, they contain a lot of stories. Even Bhagavad Puran, for that instance, it contains a lot of stories. And what is the purpose of these stories? The purpose of all these stories is to attract us towards Krishna. Dasamasya vishuddhartham navanam iha lakshanam varnayanti mahatmanah shrutena arthena anjasa. All the analogies, all the stories, all the pastimes which are given, they are simply meant to attract a conditioned soul towards Krishna. And similarly, devotees, when they perform pastimes, when pure devotees perform pastimes in their sojourn in this material world, they also attract by their very presence. Many devotees who were there during the time of Srila Prabhupada had such magnetic experiences of their interactions with Srila Prabhupada. One devotee, he saw Srila Prabhupada eating a fruit, and the seeds of that fruit were directly put in the dustbin, directly from the mouth to the dustbin, and the dustbin was far away. And he got so mesmerized. It happened one time, two times, thrice, fourth time, and he got so mesmerized that he became a devotee just by observing that. When Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, he saw Srila Prabhupada for the first time, because he was into some kind of mysticism and other things. When he saw Srila Prabhupada, actually he found Srila Prabhupada to be so bright, such a great aura was coming from Srila Prabhupada that he was not able to see Srila Prabhupada properly. And he mentioned it to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I am seeing some light behind you. Prabhupada said, don't worry, just chant Hare Krishna, the light will go away. So this is how Srila Prabhupada attracted devotees by his mere presence. And by his Vani, he attracted so many. By his caring nature, he attracted so many people. Even though he was a spiritual master of the whole world, still he would care for each and every one of his disciples. When Yamuna Mataji was sick in India, Srila Prabhupada told the devotees to shift her into Srila Prabhupada's room in one corner. And Prabhupada would every day come to her and ask her, how are you feeling? Are you feeling better now? Are you feeling good now? So this is how Srila Prabhupada, he would attract the devotees by his loving nature, by his caring nature, by his Vani, and by his mere presence. So this is how Krishna, the scriptures and the devotees, they attract us. And along with attracting, Krishna also corrects the devotee whenever needed. And this correction is also a gradual process in which Krishna is purifying a devotee. There is a very wonderful story which comes in the Ramanuja Sampradaya. There was one devotee by the name Vipra Narayan. And this Vipra Narayan was a very staunch brahmachari, a very staunch renunciant. He was very pure, he was very simple, and he was having a simple service of maintaining the flower garden. So on one side he was having a flower garden, and on the other side he was having a tulsi garden. And as he would tend to the flowers and the tulsis, he would make garlands of them and offer them to Lord Ranganath. One time as he was doing his service, there were two girls who were passing by that particular place. They two were sisters, and the elder sister said to the younger that, do you know who stays here? Here the most devout and renunciate Vipra Narayan stays. And he is so renunciate that he is not attracted to any woman. He cannot be attracted to any woman. And when the younger sister heard this, she took it as a test. She said, just wait for 6 months and you see how I will bring this Vipra Narayan into my grip. And after she said this particular thing, the elder sister went away, and the younger sister, whose name was Deva Devi, she came in a very helpless state in front of Vipranarayan one day and said to him that, "My dear sir, I don't have anything to eat. I don't have anywhere to live. So can you please give me some service? I don't want any kind of remuneration, but if you just give me something to eat, it will be very nice." Vipranarayan said, okay. Compassionate as he was, he told her, "Yeah, you can please come here every day. You can tend to the flowers, and whatever prasad I have, I can give it to you as well. But there is one condition." She asked, "What is the condition?" Okay, "When I am serving in the flower garden, you should be there in Tulsi garden. When I am serving in the Tulsi garden, you should be there in the flower garden. At no time we both should be together." And she agreed. 1 month passed by, 2 months passed by, and Devi was getting restless because she understood that Vipranarayan was not a person who was interested in any of these things. And Vipranarayan had also mentioned that Devi would not stay with him. She would have to stay outside somewhere. And after the passage of 3-4 months, Vipranarayan was going in his life, and Devi, as she was becoming restless, another month passed by, and when it was the 6th month, once it so happened that it started raining. Vipranarayan would stay in a cottage which was in the flower garden itself, and when it started raining very heavily, Vipranarayan went inside his cottage, and Devi was there outside. She was totally drenched in the rains, and she was feeling very cold. And she approached Vipranarayan's hut. She said, "Can I please come inside? It is very cold out here. I am totally drenched." And Vipranarayan said, "Okay, you can come in. I will go out." And Devi said, No, we can both be there. I just want to be there for some time." And as Devi went inside, she also urged Vipranarayan to stay there. And as Vipranarayan was inside his cottage along with Devi, as he looked at her, he got mesmerized and got attracted to her. And he fell down from his position. And after that, he went on to stay at Devi's place. But Lord Ranganath was not happy. He was not happy that his servant has fallen down. His servant had to undergo such a kind of tribulation. And Lord Ranganath devised a method, a kind of trick to correct his devotee. So when Devi understood that Vipranarayan is left with nothing now, she deserted him. And as one day Vipranarayan was outside Devi's house, Lord Ranganath, he disguised as a disciple of Vipranarayan and went to Devi's house and said to her, "This is a golden vessel my spiritual master has given me to give to you." And Devi thought that maybe he is not at all deserted. He has followers and he has some money as well. And Devi took Vipranarayan inside. And in the temple, everyone came to know that Lord's golden vessel had been stolen. And ultimately they found out that this vessel is at Devi's place. So the entire blemish came upon Vipranarayan, that Vipranarayan has stolen the golden vessel of Lord Ranganath. But when they understood, actually Lord Ranganath came in the dreams of the main pujari there, and he told to him that I had stolen this golden vessel just to redeem my devotee Vipranarayan. And when Vipranarayan understood that Lord Ranganath had personally, he had orchestrated this entire pastime just to deliver him, he became so remorseful that he left Devi at once, and he again resumed his service to Lord Ranganath. And later the same Vipranarayan went on to become Thondar Dippodi Alvar. He is one of the 12 Alvars in Sri Sampradaya. So this is how Krishna, he corrects a devotee. Even if the devotee is going to a wrong path, Krishna very mercifully comes and corrects that devotee. Therefore, it is said in Bhagavad Gita, Neha bhikvarnashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So Krishna corrects, the scriptures also correct. And how do the scripture correct? They act like a friend, they act like an advisor. Sometimes we don't want to be corrected publicly, but when we read scriptures, we see no one else is watching, and the scriptures, they are in this way correcting us and purifying us. And devotees also correct us to show us the right path, to gradually take us to the path of Krishna consciousness. There are many examples of Srila Prabhupada, how Srila Prabhupada, he mercifully chastised and corrected his devotees in order to bring them back to the path of Krishna consciousness. So Krishna descends, he attracts, he corrects, and finally Krishna extends for the devotees as well. And how much he extends? Krishna is ready to travel any distance for his devotees. When Krishna was performing his pastimes in Dwaraka, there were two of his devotees named Shrutadev and Bahulashva who were living in far provinces. And because they had taken a vow not to leave their deity services, Krishna personally went along with all the sages to their place just in order to deliver them. Krishna also descends from the spiritual world to the material world for all of us. So in a way, Krishna's mercy for conditioned souls is more than his mercy for even liberated souls, because Krishna is traversing more distance for the conditioned souls. Similarly, we see devotees extend for us. How much Srila Prabhupada extended for all of us. Srila Prabhupada came to the West, and not only once, he traveled 14 times. 14 times he circled the entire globe in 12 years. Just so that one conditioned soul is delivered. For each and every one of us, he was taking that particular step. So this is what is the mercy and the grace of Krishna, the scriptures and the devotees, wherein they take each and every effort to take the devotee, to take the conditioned soul out of his material mire and put him back into Krishna's orbit in the spiritual world. And therefore, how grateful should we be to the devotees of the Supreme Lord, due to whose mercy we are here and we are able to practice Krishna consciousness. And by the devotee's mercy only, we will be able to perfect on this path of Krishna consciousness. So I'll pause here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत पुराण की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. Thank you very much.